I was cleaning my phone, and apparently I hit the go live button. And, oh, man. I'm a hot mess, and I have it backwards. And YouTube changed. Let me know if everything's working. It's been a crazy night for YouTube. Um, my phone's backwards, so this is different. Okay. I think I'm in there. This is alright, sounds good, right? So now I gotta look over here to the camera instead of over here. Wasn't expecting that. Anyways, I am now early. I was going to try to wait till 8:30, but I figured I might as well get an extra 15-minute bonus time. OFR stream crashed. I keep looking the wrong side, sorry. They had a fun stream going on tonight, and I don't know what happened at the end. Something crashed, and looks like they're not coming back. Anyways, I see some people filtering in already, and I expect some more will filter in a little bit later. Havana is probably going to be in this live stream tonight because I told her that tomorrow we're going. Yep, her ears just perked up. So tomorrow we're going to go see my mom, and she knows what that means. So my parents live in Florida. They also have a house up here. They're the ones that normally watch the dogs when I go to OFR, like when I was doing the Bellagio tanks and the random weekends up there. Well, they actually landed back here tonight and earlier today, and I didn't realize they were coming back tonight. And earlier today, Josh invited me up there for this weekend to hang out. And since we, I'm assuming because we worked so hard, they obviously worked really hard this summer. And I went up there, I think it was like 5 weekends in a row. He invited, as you guys probably saw from their channel, IFG and Off the Deep End. And he said there's going to be some YouTubers there this weekend, mainly tomorrow. And he invited me up there to come hang out. So, lo and behold, I said, "Hey, Mom, how soon do you want to watch the dogs? I know you just got back, right?" So they're going to watch the dogs for me tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. So that way I can stay the night up there. And because I've been, the last couple times I've been going up there, I've basically been letting the dogs out and then driving the 2 hours up to OFR, hanging out there for a few hours, and then driving home. So that way I could feed them at night and let them back out. Now that I got a doggy sitter, so I'll be up there tomorrow night, and I'm not sure how long I'll be up there Sunday. I think Mad Sponsor Fish is going up there tomorrow, and I don't know who else. But I'm charging my drone batteries right now, and I'm going to remember to take my charger. So I have 3 drone batteries, and when I was up there filming the koi pond, I used all 3 batteries, and I used them a little bit quicker than I thought. Typically, the flight time is 30 minutes, 35 minutes, but it was extremely windy, so I was only getting like 20 minutes of flight time, which is still pretty good. But an hour of footage, like that video I released, I don't remember how long it was, if it was 20 minutes long. That was definitely at least an hour of videoing to get that 20 minutes of edited video. So I want to take my charger with me because I have a feeling I'll be doing a lot of recording. I'll do drone video, of course, because I really want to get the pond now that it's up and running, and now that has koi fish in it. I think getting some aerial shots of the koi in that pond is going to be great. It did rain this week, so I'm sure the pond's going to be probably muddy, but we'll see. You want to go? You want to get down? So tomorrow should be getting video via the drone, and obviously I'll take video with my phone, and just whatever else. I've been doing these really short live streams from OFR. The problem is the cell reception there is terrible, so my live stream quality is terrible. They do have Wi-Fi, but it doesn't work out in the backyard, and it's probably spotty anyway, so I might try to go live at some point. It'll be a quick, like 5 to 10 minute live stream probably. What are you doing? I shouldn't have said what I did earlier. Now she's just needy. Anyways, I want to see what's going on with everybody. Who is in here? Chevy Fish, really 2233. Texas Fisherman was in here a little bit earlier. I hate stupid people. Mr. Fisher, Richard, it's good seeing all you guys. Josh, rest in peace. OFR stream, hi SC, hello. Guppy Guru, what's going on, buddy? And yeah, so as far as fish, I know I showed you guys the videos of the unboxing of all the plants. I'm going to be doing a plant special at some point. Don't hold me to it. I don't know when. And it might not be till the end of the month. It might be like a Black Friday type deal or Cyber Monday. The Denison barbs, all of the fish that I brought in are doing great. Not a single loss. They're still in quarantine, and they should be coming out of quarantine probably this coming week. They've just been doing really well. I'm just excited that not a single loss in any of the fish I got. Like with the green neons, being that I bought 50 of them, I expected like one or two to have issues. No issues at all. I'd have no problem selling them today without any regrets or sorry, I gotta get 70 pounds of pit bull down. John said, got my plant order. Another great job. Thanks, John. The Christmas moss, just so you guys know, is on sale. I put that on sale. Maybe it was yesterday. I think normally it's like $4.99. I think it's like $2.99 right now. Mainly that's because I have a ton of it. Christmas moss, I don't import it. It's all grown in my tanks. And it's taken over all my tanks right now. So I put it on special. It's $2.99. It's a decent amount of it. And people with that have been doing plant orders, I've actually been giving some as bonus on some of the orders. I think, John, you might got some bonus extras. I think, I forget who ordered before you, the plant order, 2 plant orders ago. They got some. I don't even think they ordered moss. I sent it. If you guys don't use it, it's no big deal. You can throw it away. But I sent it just as some extra. I only do that if you order plants. So if you order fish foods or medications, don't expect to get moss with that order, because I don't want to go through the extra hassle of sending free moss, and don't expect free moss. Let me just say that. But I have been throwing some freebies in there. Sam Signature Series, hello. Mickey's here, hello. Done some water changes and feeding my fish. Yeah, so I started so every few weeks I rotate foods on all the tanks. I switch over to frozen foods. It's just kind of a good change up on nutrition and kind of a treat for them, because I bought a case of frozen food. My freezer is full of frozen foods, and if you're local to me, I'll sell you frozen food. I don't ship frozen because you gotta use dry ice and it's a pain in the butt. I'm not trying to do that. I wish I could do it cheaply if I could sell it online, but it's just too much of a hassle. But if you're local to me, I'll sell you frozen foods. I get a really good deal on them. But I bought a case frozen, like literally a case. It was a big box of all sorts of kinds. And so this week was frozen foods week. So all the tanks got like bloodworms or mysis shrimp, baby brine shrimp, and I think I might have Daphnia too, but I haven't opened it, so I'm not sure. Richard Maloney with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Richard. Just because, happy Halloween. Thank you, bud, for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. That made my night, so thank you so much. I would put some whipped cream on my face, but I don't have any, so thank you so much. Is the drinking word still spin? Sure. Yeah, we can make it spin. I'm drinking coffee tonight, mainly because I gotta get up early tomorrow. So here's an off-topic thing about when I was talking about selling my house and how I put that on hold for right now. Well, when I was really gung ho on like trying to sell the house as quickly as possible, I sold my project car, the one that was in my garage. I had a Civic. I used to road race cars. That was like my hobby before I was a fish hobbyist. I used to road race. And if you guys don't know what road race is, it's when you're on a racetrack, like an actual racetrack that has curves and hills. That's road racing. It's not like NASCAR where you do the circles. It's not drag racing a straight line. It's actually, you know, it's like IndyCar racing, right? But with your car. I used to do that and loved it. And I got out of it, and then before I got in the fish hobby, I decided to um, get back into it. So I bought a Civic, and it was kind of one of those impulse buys where I was looking at cars, and I've always been like a Honda person. My dad worked for Honda, and I've had a lot of them. And I used to road race Hondas and BMWs. I had one BMW I road raced. I've owned four BMWs. I road raced one of them. Anyways, I came across a Civic, and if you guys know the older Civics, they always rust out. They just rust out. It's just the name of the game on those cars. Well, I got this one that was originally from Hawaii. The owner was a Marine, and when they moved back to Pennsylvania, they brought the car with them. So the car lived most of its life in Hawaii, and therefore it never saw salt. And the thing about, you know, Midwest and the northern states is in the winter they use a crap ton of salt on the road to melt ice, and salt rusts a car out super quick. And especially on the older Japanese cars. Well, this thing was rust free. It was rust free, but not nice. Like the clear coat was gone on it because being in Hawaii, and the headlights were trashed from the UV. So I redid the whole body on it. I stripped the paint down, filled any little dents and dings, and then it sat in my garage for 2 years. And then when I went to sell the house, I sold it to a coworker, and on a whim, and I all not immediately, but like a week later, I was regretting it. I was like, man, he just got a heck of a deal. He got a rust-free car with a bunch of extra parts that were some money. Well, the coworker, I'll call him a kid. He's young. I'm 18, 19. Blows the car up the next day. He had the car like a day and blew the engine on it. One day. One day. So anyways, so it sat at work for a while because it blew up. And then he sold it to another coworker who fixed it, but it's not really fixed. It's like way better, but still, it needs an engine. Is the quickest way I can say that. Well, said coworker, his like daily driver truck, like the starter or something went out on it. And this is a Volkswagen Tech. So they're kind of like a little separate. They're like an attached building to our shop. So I don't really know this guy that well, but I knew he needed some money. So I bought it back for half of what I sold it for. And I just did that like 2 days ago. I think on Wednesday I bought the car back, and I put some work into it already. You know, didn't have an exhaust on it, so I got that fixed, and got some parts swapped around. If you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you might saw a picture of it today. But tomorrow. So anyways, the whole story of this is tomorrow morning, I'm getting up, I'm going to work so I can paint the car. That's the main reason the car sat for 2 years, is because since I did all the body work, it didn't have paint. I didn't want it outside and getting bare sheet metal rusted. So tomorrow I'm going to paint the car. Hopefully, it depends on how things go, because I still have some stuff I need to do before I can paint. But I'm going to try to get it painted tomorrow. If not, I'll get it painted this week. And then I got to go up to OFR. So I just saw another super chat, so let me get back in the chat real quick so I can address that. And if you guys, like as always, if you're on a desktop computer, or you can type it out, @ my name, SD Aquatics, it highlights it in the chat. So if you have any questions, I prefer you guys try to tag me, that way I can read it real quick, and because it'll be bright orange on my screen. Von Yinzer says, "Hey SC, your stream is going to go off the rails." Well, I guess we gotta be spinning and spinner and spin and all that stuff. So anybody that is still in the OFR drinking game, spin, 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 spin. But I hate stupid people. Funny story about I hate stupid people, but she dropped me a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I hate stupid people. It was funny because as soon as I said that, I was like, wait a minute. I had somebody that was watching, I don't know if it was a video or a live stream, but I had responded to I hate stupid people, and this other person thought I was calling you guys stupid. They didn't realize, because I hate stupid people will change her name to IHSP, because anytime she says anything in a live stream, it flags it, and moderators of that live stream have to approve it, which is not a big deal. But so sometimes she switches back and forth. But anyways, I was responding, and this other person like somehow got it out of context that I was calling you guys, my subscribers, or the people, my friends, my fish fam, thought I was calling you guys stupid. So that's not the case. But I just, every time I see I hate stupid people, that's the first thing that pops in my head. But anyways, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. I really appreciate it. Von Yinzer said, oh, my chat just dropped. It was something about you need a Volvo 240. If that's the old wagons, like the square body wagons, I definitely remember those. I don't even think I've even been in a Volvo. And it's funny because I work at my dealership. I work for Audi, right? Well, we're in a group. It's all the same owners, the same family that owns this group. We have like 12 brands, but at our location, we got 4 brands technically, but there's really 5. The 5th one's Volvo. For some reason, they're on our lot, but they're not part of us. It's weird. It's owned by the same company, the same family, but they're like separate for some reason. But never even been in a Volvo. The new ones look nice, but I can't tell you anything about them. Nobody asked me how they are. I couldn't tell you a single thing about a Volvo. Sam Signature Series says salt kills cars. It really does. And I gotta say, so sorry if you guys already know this. If not, I used to work for BMW for 10 years, and I've been with Audi for like 4 years now. So 14 years professional tech on German cars is what I'm getting at. The German cars are way less likely to rust out, and maybe some early 90s. But in the mid-90s, German cars, their painting procedure, and here's some car knowledge. If this is boring, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just going with the flow. German cars actually dunk their cars into a bath. And what that does is it allows the paint primer stuff to really get in all the cracks and crevices, where like older cars, Japanese cars, they might have been like, I'm talking like 80s and maybe 90s, they were painted. Well, these cars were dunked, so that way every crevice would get filled to help protect it against corrosion. But the Germans have always been really good about, I'm not saying they won't rust, but they've been really good about rust protection. You rarely ever will see a newer, it doesn't need to be brand new, but newer German car rusted like you will see like, one of my biggest pet peeves about trucks, so I drive a truck every day. I have a GMC. Dodges were notorious for rust. And all trucks were. The older Chevys, the corners of the cab would rust. But Dodges, their wheel wells on their beds would just fall apart. And they would do it within like 4 or 5 years. So if you ever look to buy a Dodge truck, and it's got the fender, like those plastic fender flares on it, make it look like all cool, it's probably because they're covering up rust. Just a little tip if you're in the market for a truck. Truck's a whole nother topic I can go down, but we should probably try to get something fish related in this chat. So Denson barbs, they're doing great. Like I said before, I only got 6 of them. They are expensive, but I brought 6 of them in, and they're doing great. They're all eating. The green neons are doing great. They're tiny, but they're doing good. And then the plants are they're plants. They're spread out throughout the whole fish room. All the tanks have plants. I got some swords. I got this guy. I don't know if he was floating last live stream, but he's been floating all week, so I need to get that thing planted back. I made a mistake of putting it too close to a cave, and the bristlenose, the brilliant bristlenose plecos, they get crazy when they start swimming, and they uproot that one. So it needs replanted, but I got some Amazon swords, so I put them in here, so they're going to acclimate to submerged grown and help get some growth in this tank. Havana, what are you doing? Just trying to photobomb. I'm going to skip as far forward as I can. Oh, I see a red. Okay, so Zen Ginger, she just did a big plant order. She dropped the website, 614fish.com. Zen, I appreciate you moderating and ordering all those plants that you ordered and dropping the link to the website. Okay, go on. So, Sam says, I see a mop in the back tank. What's breeding there? These are Parkinsoni rainbow fish. It's a breeding trio, and they, that's the mop. The mop got stuck over here in this corner, and the canister filter returns right there, and it makes that mop spin. And since that thing's been spinning, they actually stopped laying in that mop. That mop, actually, I need to attach it to the center brace, because if I move all the way down here, it gets... Havana, go on. She's driving me nuts. Go lay down. Go lay down. Good girl. Sorry, she jumps up and her nails, gets your thighs. It's just not comfortable. So yeah, the mop, when it gets down here, it kind of does the same thing. So I really need to attach it to the center brace, which is where that Amazon's stuck. And, yeah, but they're super fat. They eat non-stop. And, yeah. So let me see. Patty says, I think by the time things rust out, it's lost its value, and you used it up anyways. Well, up here, Patty, I'm not sure where you live, but those 02 to 09 Dodge Rams, 4 years. My old roommate had one. It was 5 years old, and the fenders were rusted out. So 5 years is way too soon for a car or a truck to be rusting out. My chat jumps. I'm going to try to scroll back up. Okay. I hate stupid people. Said at SC, not exactly fish, but I found baby snails in my shrimp tank several days ago. Finally able to see their shell shape last night. I have at least 4 or 5 baby ram's horns. I hope you're excited about that, because I love ram's horns. That's my favorite snail. That's the picture of the thumbnail tonight. I love them. I really do. I'm contemplating putting them in this tank, because this tank is now starting to grow a little bit of green algae on the glass or on the acrylic. And I've been leaving it for the plecos. The super reds love being on this algae. The problem is it's just going to keep growing. They're not going to be able to keep up with it. If I put ram's horns in here, they'll definitely take care of it. But I'm also trying to use it as a food source for the plecos. But honestly, it'll probably get ram's horns. But I'm going to probably wait until I rescape this. So I do want to rescape this tank. I think what I'm going to do is an offset style, I'm sure there's a real name for it, but I just call it offset, where everything's kind of like one end of the tank. So I'm going to do some sort of scape down here by the intake to hide the intake, and then it's going to be kind of scaped down and then more open on that end. Um, is the idea I have right now. I need to go to the rock quarry and get new rocks because I'm out. And I was just thinking about rocks. So I got some Anubias plants. I think they're Barterii that are pretty big. They've been in the plant sump system on Rack System 2, the flow through. I mean, they've got some rhizomes like this long going. So I can either split them up and make new plants, or I might list them online as like extra large plants. Do you guys think I should split them up, or should I try selling it as like an extra large plant? Let me know. Same thing with the Amazons. If some of these grow out as big as these other ones, I might try to list some extra ones as extra large in case somebody's really trying to fill out escape quickly. And then, the Barbatus fry. I mentioned I wasn't sure about them. Definitely have fry. They're like invisible in the tank they're in. They match that sand perfectly. There's also mulm, and they're tiny. So I found out the trick. So all I do is just stare at the tank, and then I just tap the glass, just a little tap, and it freaks them out, and they dart all over, and that's when you can actually see them. But if they don't move, it's like impossible to see them unless they're up front against the glass. But they're definitely in there, so that makes me excited. But they're tiny, so I don't know how long it's going to take for them to grow up. Because I would like to figure out, like, all right, they hatched 3 weeks ago. It takes them, does it take them 3 months, or does it take 6 months to get to like a sellable size? Because I would like to get to a point where I can produce them quick enough to be able to sell them back into the hobby. Oh, I guess talking about breeding and selling in the hobby, the local wholesaler wants to buy some shrimp from me. I guess they've been importing shrimp, like all wholesalers import shrimp, right? I guess they've been just having bad luck with getting shrimp in. I know that what would have been a couple weeks ago, whenever I went and got the Denison barbs, their whole order of shrimp all died. Every single one of them, they said. I don't know if they all died coming in or if it was the first night in their tanks. They lost their complete order of shrimp, and they said that's a reoccurring thing. I was actually talking to the owner's owner's daughter, and she asked, because I always go on my lunch break, so I'm in a technician uniform. So she asked, what kind of business I do, and I told her I do online sales. And she asked a little bit more, like, what kind of online sales hard goods, and I breed shrimp and some fish like guppies. But she kind of perked up at the shrimp thing. That's when she told me about her shrimp losses, and she's like, well, you need to talk to my dad about becoming a supplier for us. So I'm going to try to maybe not re-gear towards that, but gear up from where I'm at to try to get more for wholesale, because the Blue Dream shrimp, they're just doing awesome. Their color's really good, and that tank, they're in that 55, which has been great to get the colony going, but it sucks to really like cull shrimp out of it. So there's all sorts of, like, there's Blue Dreams, there's Blue Rillies in there. There's some red ones that have reverted back. And really, to keep that going, I need to cull all that stuff out. So what I really want to do is do a whole new rack system of those plastic, like my fry rack, those plastic containers. I want to do a whole system of just those for shrimp. And, I could put, let's say, a dozen shrimp in each tank. And that, I could do 50 tanks of just those small ones. And I'm going to do like a purpose-built rack. I'm not going to use those plastic racks because it wastes a bunch of space. Just using 2x4s big enough to hold the tanks. Maybe 10 tanks long, and then fit as many as I can within reason height-wise, and just start pushing as much shrimp as I can, because the blues, they're my favorite shrimp right now for sure. And I have a source for some high quality lines of shrimp. It's expensive, but that might be something that might be worth me investing into, getting some higher quality lines to start with, and then working that line from there. But right now, I just want to work on getting the blues more productive, and because that'd be super awesome to have, wholesale order, either weekly or monthly, or however quick they go through shrimp. I don't know what their volume is, but it'd be nice to be able to sell online, but also be able to sell wholesale. Do Von Yunzer said, let's see, how do you deal with the Amazon sword that is throwing new leaves that are looking like Swiss cheese? One of my tanks has an issue with the sword in it. Von Yunzer, what is your nitrate level, and are you using any fertilizers? So that would be the first thing I want to know, because if you start getting holes in a plant, it's typically probably because it has a deficiency. And I have a list. Oh, where is it? I have a list. Where is it? Where is it? Sorry, guys. I was trying. I thought I saved it somewhere. I had a list that had all the plant deficiencies. Wait, was this it? No, that's not it. Anyways, I'll try to find that, Von Yunzer, and I can shoot you a message once I get the exact cause. I mean, it goes into pretty detailed if it's like not enough light, if it's not enough of a micro or macro nutrient. But usually, I would say it's probably a deficiency somewhere. I wish I could think of it off the top of my head. I know when I use fertilizer, I don't have like any issues with that. The only plants I ever get with holes in them are in the fry rack, because I don't dose that with fertilizer. I think you just responded. I do use Flourish tabs as well as Propel. My nitrates are around 0 to 5. Appreciate the message and info. Von Yunzer, get those nitrates up. So, this tank runs like high nitrates. Let's do a test on the live stream. And that's why I like API strips. So I have the master kit. I have the master test water kit. It's actually sitting, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. I use a master kit to get tanks going, or if I think I have a major issue. Any other day, I buy I think these are 100 packs. 100 pack, that's your best deal. They're expensive, but honestly, if you break it down per test strip, get the 100 pack, guys. Totally worth it. Take one of these once a week, and this is how I do fertilizer, like dosing. Swirl it, 2 seconds. You're supposed to read your KH, GH, and pH right away. The nitrate and nitrite needs to sit for like 30 seconds. So we're going to let that sit. I just set it on the lid, and I let it sit. I do my emails, respond to people, and then I check it. You will probably be surprised at the nitrate level in this tank. Danny Smith says, great info, SC Aquatics. My only question is, are you living in the age of Aquarius? I don't know what that means. Is Aquarius like a sign? I don't know anything about the signs. Patty says, I'm snailless right now because I'm going to be moving, but when I get settled in, I'm going to snail up, and if they regenerate, then they'll have a home with me. I think snails are great. They eat the dead plants, extra fish food to keep your glass clean. It's just part of the ecosystem, and it really helps balance your tanks out for sure. Alright, it's been 30 seconds. You guys see how pink that is? This is the nitrate one. That tank is running okay, now this is a little high. We're running 80 parts per million. Is that what this is? Yeah, parts per million. 80 parts per million nitrates. That's going to be from dosing. Now, this is from the live stream last week where I talked about this tank. I filled it up tonight. Drops this much water every week. Just because it's evaporating doesn't mean you're losing the nutrients out of the water. It's just like salt water. A saltwater tank can evaporate, but the salt's not going with the water as it evaporates. Whatever's in your water column is still in there, even after evaporation. So I'm topping off, it's getting fresh water, but the nitrates are still sitting in there. But I typically, now 80 is kind of high, so I will back off on the nutrient dosing, but I typically dose this weekly with fertilizer. That's another reason why there's algae starting to grow, because the nitrates are high. But 80 parts per million, I'm not freaked out about it. I'm not stopping what I'm doing to do a water change. At 80 parts, I am stop dosing. I'm going to let the plants catch up, and then I'll get back into it. But this tank's also fed the most out of any tank I have. The other tanks, well, I take that back. The Barbados Cories are fed 5 times a day. They're on an auto feeder, which drops food 5 times. The other tanks are twice a day. This tank is like once in the morning, but after work when I'm in here doing YouTube work or whatever I'm doing business-wise, these guys are getting fed like every hour because they just eat and eat. And I'm keeping them fat and happy because they're breeding every day. But 80 parts per million, it's high. I'm not concerned about it. I'll probably check it Sunday, and if it's still 80 parts per million, I'll do a partial water change just to lower it a little bit. But they're all doing great. Is it Ricostan? What brand of test strips are you using? These are the APIs. To be honest, these are the ones I sell. I don't think I have any more of the 100 packs. I know I just told you guys to get the 100 packs. But I do have... I have 1 box left of the 25 pack. So the 25 pack is usually the blue container. So it looks like there's 1 box left. Yeah, 1 box left. But API are honestly the only test strips I've ever used. So I can't tell you if there's a better one or if these are the best. But these are the ones I use. And I use this really just to do nitrate tests. That allows me to target fertilizer. But API. And then my freshwater, like Master Kit, that's also API brand. Mr. Fisher said manganese difference for holes in plant according to chart. So, Von Yinzer, check your... I've never used Flourish, so check it to see if... you need more manganese. If it doesn't, maybe it doesn't have it. I'll have to show you guys the label because I don't have a bottle sitting right here in front of me. But this is how the labels come in. They come on this big roll. So this is my fertilizer label. So I have my fertilizer made for me. I don't make it myself. And then it basically comes blank, and I had to do my own label, so I have to label each bottle. And I heat seal the bag so in case the bottle leaks, it doesn't get all over in your package. But on the label, which I'm pretty sure most fertilizers I've seen online, they should tell you what's in it. Right here on my label is what's in the fertilizer. So look on your Flourish bottle, see if it tells you. And I actually got some Thrive. Let me grab a bottle. And I believe these are on sale right now because I wasn't going to bring these back in because my house brand fertilizer has been doing so well that there's no point in me selling two fertilizers. But this is the Nilo CG Thrive. It's a great fertilizer. And this is the all-in-one. I was going to see magnesium. Manganese. So this has manganese in it as well. So I would just look to see. I don't know. And then this is what I do with my tanks. If I don't liquid fert, so big stuff like the ponds get dry ferts. So I have a bunch of different kinds of dry fertilizer. These are also from Nilo CG. I would sell these because I think these are great, but they don't wholesale these. They only wholesale the liquids. But like here's potassium nitrate. This is Plantex CSM plus B. And then I got more somewhere. Here's one. Calcium sulfate. So dosing some calcium into tanks. I dry dose using a calculator online. So if anybody's interested in dry dosing, Google search Rotala butterfly, and just so I'll spell that out. It's ROTALA butterfly.com. They basically have this cool calculator. You basically type in how many gallons. So like say like this one's 55. You tell them what you're dosing with. So, and they have all the major fertilizers. So I can select potassium nitrate, and it'll say KN03. You type that in, and it tells you how much of this you need to dose to a 55 gallon to achieve the estimated index, right? And a lot of it is, I wasn't prepared for this. Maybe I should do a dry fert video. I have a scale, which is now, I just used it. I literally just used it. Here it is. Got it. So this is like a micro scale. This scale I can use when I dose like the 500 gallon because I put enough fertilizer into the container to measure. When I do like a 10 gallon or 20 gallon, this doesn't get accurate enough. I have to use this mini scale. And I got this off like Amazon. They're super cheap. And then I even bought, to help speed things up, I have a couple sitting here. These are measuring spoons. And it was like 10 different ones because it goes down to like crazy small. These aren't even the small ones. It's like this one's like a 1/16 of a teaspoon. Because it tells you in teaspoons or it tells you by weight. I do it by weight now. So this was the original way I was doing it. But it just became a little bit of a pain because like some of this stuff, I think it was the calcium's real like powdery and it would stick in there. And it just became a pain. So now I do it using the scale. So this is the scale, and then on the small tanks, so this is like a lid that came with the scale, right? I just use the lid as a dosing container, right? So I set this up, and it'll say add 0.2 grams or whatever. Put a little 2 grams. I hit the tare button, which resets it. I add the next one, and it all. This will be a dose. I toss it into a tank, and I redo it. I've seen people take dry ferts and make their own liquid fert from that. I wasn't trying to do the math on bottle volume and pump volume to overall, capacity. Like, usually it might say how many gallons it treats. Maybe not. So this one is 1 pump per 10 gallons, which is what mine is. My pump tops are 2 milliliters. So if you guys know Aquarium Co-op, the Easy Green, their bottle got smaller, right? Well, their fertilizer is more concentrated now. So basically, what they did is they took out water. So instead of 2 milliliter pump tops, they're down to 1 milliliter. It's the same fertilizer, just in a smaller package, right? Well, these are still considered like the old packages, 2 milliliter pump tops. Yeah, one pump is 2 milliliters, and that's what mine is. I would love for mine to go to the smaller bottle, but as of right now, they're still the old school, a little bit bigger of a bottle. Um, Kind of a plug for Oddball Aquatics. If you guys know Oddball Aquatics, Haley, she just got. She buys my fertilizer off me all the time, and I actually just sent her a gallon refill jug. She ordered another bottle, and then because I know she uses it so much, I sent her a gallon. And Scouts on her. I didn't pay her to say it, but she told me on the phone it's the best fertilizer that she's ever used. And she's used Easy Green. She has Easy Green. She still uses it. She uses mine, and then she also told me about a fertilizer from another source, another online retailer that does a ton of plants. And I don't want to drop names, but she said it's not good. But so I felt good. She said mine was the best that she uses. She even got one of her. She works at Aquatic Arts, and she's got one of her coworkers using my fertilizer now, and so that's pretty cool. But I'm almost out. I think I got like 3 bottles left. It's expensive to buy because when you get a case of it, it's heavy. So every time I order like a case of it, it's expensive as crap to ship in. So I really need to buy like 2 cases. But then it's like, man, I got so much fertilizer now. But I need to do like a video on it because I think people just don't even know I have it. And I know Mike, my rainbow guy, when he was over here, he didn't even know I had fertilizer. Like he knows my channel. He's been following me for a long time. Didn't even know I had a house brand fertilizer. That I don't make it. It's made for me. And he even uses it, and he likes it too. So it's one of those things I need to hire somebody that's good at advertising because I'm terrible at it. But maybe I need to do videos like a top 10 of the things I sell that you guys don't know. Because the other thing I sell, which I don't think I don't advertise enough, are filter pads. So this one's like an ammonia reducing pad, and pads, I love the carbon ones and the regular filter ones. They have their purpose. So this one reduces ammonia, which is great. Personally, I think it's great for when you're going to fish auctions or buying fish. You got something that's going to help reduce ammonia. You shouldn't use it. I would never recommend just using ammonia reducing pads in an established tank, because if you have to reduce ammonia, you have an issue with your nitrogen cycle. With your tank is not healthy. Now, could you use it at the beginning, like setting up a new tank? Absolutely. But there's all different pads. This one's a phosphate. This is like a saltwater. The main people that buy this that I've been selling to is saltwater. But there's ones that help remove nitrates. There's the carbon one. The carbon one's great to help give you like crystal clear water and or to remove like medications. So like say if you're treating a tank, you got it under control and you want to get those medications out, carbon will help pull medications out. The other thing carbon will do is help polish the water and pull out if you got tannins. So if you do driftwood and you want tannins, great. But if you don't want the tannins, you do your water changes and then run some carbon, because that carbon will really help trap microparticles. John said, I'm reading the chat, said maybe do a video on like a how-to of using the products. Yes, I should do a fertilizer video, and that can highlight the liquid fertilizer, which is super easy. You pump it, one pump. So this tank, when I do the liquid on this tank, I hit it with 6 pumps. So it's 55 gallons, so it'd be like 5.5 pumps. I just do a full 6, And my nitrate levels obviously are high, but I also hit this with a ton of food. So that's another reason. But like I said, I'll monitor that come Sunday when I get home from OFR. And if it's still high, I'll do a partial water change. It'll knock it down. But typically I like keeping the nitrates high, and I don't have issues. 80 is, when I say high, 40 to 60 is usually what I target. I try to target 40. If it hits 60, it's like no sweat off my brow. 80, I'm not really that concerned. It's up there, but I'm not super freaked out about it. I just saw Oddballs here. Let me get back into the chat because I try to find that chart. Oddballs said, did somebody say Dragon? I was just talking about you. And about 614 FERT and how you like it. Somebody just placed an order. I don't know who placed it, but thank you, whoever that was. I appreciate it. Usually during the live stream, I get a couple orders that come through because I'm talking about products and stuff. I don't know who's ordering stuff until I get done. Then I can go into the software and see. But I do appreciate the orders and the super chats tonight, guys. That's awesome. I appreciate that. But yeah. And if you guys are ordering, I try to put it in videos or in emails. When you go check out, type in YouTube in the discount code box. There should be like a promo or coupon or discount. It should tell you. It should be pretty easy to see. Type in YouTube, you get 10% off your whole order. The only thing I noticed though is that $50 you get free shipping, excluding fish. Fish, there's a flat rate charge for fish because it is more costly to ship fish. But anyways, if you order plants, fertilizer, fish foods, whatever, you hit $50, you get free shipping. I think there was an issue where you hit $50, but then you do the 10% off discount. It knocks it under $50, so then it charges shipping. So be careful with that. You might have to add like something that's like $1 to make sure that you get the free shipping. Something that's like, these are $1. These are 4 pipettes. I hand seal these bags to make them packaged nice. I originally was just like kind of like putting them loose in a box. I like them better packaged. Keeps them clean and easy to grab. But I sell 4 of these for $1. These are used for either dosing medications. I use them specifically for doing ICX or not malachite green. What's the other one? Not malachite green. What's the blue one? Why is it escaping my brain? Somebody will say it. Anyways, anything that's got dye in it, pipettes are great for that. But these are $1. So if you need to like add something for $1, pick these up. These are great. And the other thing that these are great for, guys, how many of you that use a freshwater test kit, this is the test tube from the API kit, will take this and like try to dunk it in, and then kind of like try to get the water level, because you have to get it right to this 5 mil level. If you got a pipette, you dunk that, you suck all the water out, and then you can fill it, and then you can just drop it in. It's actually a lot quicker. Might sound stupid, but when I use these, I use a pipette. So don't think it's stupid. It actually is quicker, especially when you're doing a master test kit on more than one tank at a time. You could bulk fill this, but then use the pipette for like the fine tuning to get it to that 5 mil. Because you definitely don't want to add like 6 mil or 4 mil, because that's going to skew the results of the test. But yeah, the biggest thing, methylene blue. I don't know if somebody said it, but methylene blue just popped in my head. Methylene blue. I use this because methylene blue, if you get it on your hands, super blue. It's like dye. Good luck getting it off. Don't get it on your clothes. But methylene blue is what I use on the Barbados Cory eggs. So yeah, I love using the pipettes. I have them everywhere. They're all over my house. Just random. Oh, Absolutely. So Mike just said at SC, pipettes are also good for feeding brine shrimp. Yes, yes, they are. That's a really good one. Yeah, I guess I use a pipette. I was like, what do I use? I use a pipette. I just didn't even think about it. You know what, Oddball? I don't care about shaking it until it's good. Oddball, so the correct way to use that glass tube is to fill it to the top and shake it slightly until it's at the line. Super easy, no pipette required. You know what? I just like dropping the water in with that. All right, get out of here with that. But no, thanks for that. I'll try that, but I don't know. I think you're just trying to get me to shake it. Methylene blue. Good grief. I couldn't think of it. Zen Ginger says, Haley, sounds like you speak from experience. Any meds should not be on your hands, but methylene blue will sting everything and transfer everywhere. Gloves. Use gloves. Yeah, so I don't use gloves around the house. And I've gotten it on me, and I was using a pipette, so I'm not sure. I'm guessing maybe when I pulled the pipette out, maybe like a drop flick, but I've ended up with blue fingers before. Oh, the dog is back, guys. Sit. All right, we'll keep her down there. Von Yunzer said, I just started using pipettes for doing my water checks. Also log them into a journal so I can keep track of things from week to week. All right, yeah. I used to be all about like recording data. Where is it? I have a log somewhere, kind of like what you're talking about, and then I realized it's for me with the 55 tanks or whatever I'm up to. It just became too much to try to record everything. So the only thing I note now is if I'm trying to breed something and I'm struggling. So like the Barbados Cories, once I got the eggs to hatch and I knew like how it worked, that's what I recorded. But now obviously I memorized like, all right, I got them at warmer temperatures, 1 drop of methylene blue, daily water changes, aeration at this level. Well, I'll remember that, but let's just say I stopped breeding them for a year or 2 years, and I want to get back into them. Like, what was it? Because I have a terrible memory, so I do write that stuff down, and I keep it's an Excel spreadsheet on my computer of notes and tips and tricks and stuff like that. Um. Where am I at? Mr. Fisher said, will carbon work in a bag placed in a tank with only a sponge filter? At SC Aquatics or anyone chat. So there's 2 things you can do with carbon. In a bag, I think you would have to probably put the bag on. I think the easiest way would be to put it on the outlet tube of the sponge filter. Because if you set it like on top of the sponge, water's just going to go around it. So I think you have to force water through it. So it would have to be on the outlet of the sponge filter. But I don't know what that would do as far as flow. Because obviously the bubbles going up is what's creating the uplift. And if they're hitting a bag of carbon, I'm not sure how well that would work. If the sponge filter efficiency would go way down. The one thing I know you can do is if you have, well, I can't really flex this because this pad's actually twice this size. It's folded. You guys see that? It's folded over. So it's, you unfold it. You can take a carbon pad and actually wrap it around the exterior of a sponge filter. So that way the water has to go through it to go through the filter. So I think that would be the method, and I probably would just use a zip tie. cut a piece that fits your sponge filter, use a zip tie to pull it to snug it in, and use that until whatever you're trying to do. I think I saw something in the chat about medications. So that would help pull out medications. Also, do some water changes that would help speed up that process of getting any medications out. I think medications stay in the tank is great for during like quarantine. So say if you treat your tank today, then let's say every 2 days for a week, whatever the medication says how you should treat it. Letting them sit if you're quarantining fish for that reason is great. But if you treat, let's say ick, and you hit them with the Med Trio just so you don't have any secondary bacteria issues, getting those medications out, because if you keep treating fish over and over and over, eventually they're going to build an antibody to that. It's just like with humans, if you take the same medication over and over and over and over, eventually your body gets used to it, and usually you have to up the dosage. So yeah, having medications stay in a tank for extended amount of time, I don't think is great either. But usually that would get water changed out, and they're going to lose their potency anyways. But yeah, you can definitely. I would try wrap the filter with carbon, but being that you said you had a bag of it, the only thing I can think of is to put it on the outlet. But I don't know what that's going to do to the flow of the sponge. And Zen Ginger said, at SC Aquatics, be a good friend and pick up the dragon tomorrow. I see. Oddball said, everyone tell Steven he needs to come pick me up tomorrow and tell him to be a good friend. So here's the other thing. Just so you guys know, with the dragon and myself's relationship when it comes to OFR, and her always wanting me to come pick her up. So obviously it's 12 hours out of my way. It's 3 hours her way, 3 hours back, because it's the opposite way of OFR. So that's 6 hours just to get to OFR out of my way. And obviously the return trip. But here's the thing. So here, and she said, here we go. It's not only the 12 hours of drive time extra. Usually she has to work on Sunday, so she needs to leave at like 5 a.m. When I'm going up on a Saturday, I'm up there to have fun, hang out with my friends, doing some hood rat things. There's a meme about that. That's what that reference was. But have fun and relax, not trying to get up at 5 a.m. Not trying to do it. No ways. And yeah. And then it's like, oh, we'll leave now. And then I'll be home in 9 hours. Right? Or 8 hours. I'll be home in 8 hours. It's tough going from a 2-hour drive to an 8-hour drive when you just got done partying it up. It's tough. It's really tough. If she was like in Ohio, pretty much she could be anywhere in Ohio and it'd be way better. Yeah. Everybody tell Oddball to move to Ohio. That's way better. For sure. Zen Ginger said, I hate super fuel. We have ammonia in our tap water. I'm always adding new fish. I have to check my cycle. I only worry about pH. I have a bunch of botanicals, and I'm concerned about the pH lowering. I would not want ammonia in my water at all. I've been lucky with my tap water. It's been pretty stable as far as not having extra stuff that's not wanted. We're kind of split, like east side, west side. West side got a nitrate spike really heavily. I don't know if it was last spring or last fall, where they were pulling like 80 parts per million out of tap water of nitrates. Like they were testing their water, and the test tube was like super red, and that's just going into the tank. So if you're adding nitrates already on top of what's already in your tank, that's not good. So that would suck. That's where a nitrate pad would be great, to make a homemade filter to help pull out nitrates before it goes into your tank. But man, ammonia, that's a tough one, because that's obviously way worse than nitrates. My boss says, all I hear is blah, 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 catch a Greyhound freeloader. So she did, one time she wanted to go so bad to OFR, she took a Greyhound to Columbus, and so all I had to do was go downtown, pick her up from the Greyhound station, and I gave her a ride up to OFR. I'm totally cool with that. If you want to take a Greyhound to Columbus, I'll pick you up from the Greyhound station, and I'll bring you back to the Greyhound station. But yeah, 12 hours. I'm not about 12 hours of drive time. Maybe if it was some huge event and I had the whole weekend off, and like this could happen like on a Friday night or something, but like a Saturday to Sunday morning, it's just not. No, nope. Matt F said, I too heard Greyhound. I heard Greyhound, Haley. It's Friday night, get in the car. I can't because I got to work on my car tomorrow morning. And yeah, if I was going to OFR first thing in the morning, then maybe. But I can't tonight. Hi, Stephen. Greetings from India. Hello. India, that's far away. Good evening, though. Or good morning. What time is it in India? It's got to be like polar opposite of here, right? So sometime 9 in the morning, somewhere around there, 10. Mickey said, let your drone pick her up. Oddball's tiny enough, it might pick her up. But that's another thing. I want to try to get drone video, because I have a feeling somebody's going to end up in the pond tomorrow. And it's cold here, guys. It's 28 degrees tonight. And Cleveland's north of here. Should be colder, I don't know, but should be colder. So, high 20s. That pond's going to be cold. It's 6:50 a.m. in India. Okay, that's... Well, good morning to you. You're getting up. I'm going to bed soon. Where am I at on time? We're definitely at the hour mark, but let me see what else is going on in the chat. Patty said, believe it or not, baby wipes have really taken off the methylene blue when I've gotten it on my hand on occasion. I don't have any, but I'll have to keep that in mind. Von Yunzer, I don't know if I acknowledged you, but thanks for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. And Von Yunzer said, thanks for the knowledge and information. No problem. I appreciate all the super chats tonight, guys, and the order. I'm going to try to see if I can see who ordered, but it might not work. What else? Where is my dog? Your dog is probably in my bed right now. This one's just trying to get attention, and I mentioned about going to my mom's house tomorrow, so she's kind of excited. This dog is Havana. She is a rescue. Ooh, how old is she now? She's almost 10. She's a red-nosed pit bull, and she's just been super awesome. She's a great dog. And then my other dog is probably sleeping in my bed right now. My other dog is a Dalmatian. She is, she coming up on 2 years old now. She's another rescue dog, and she's deaf. She can't hear anything. She's 100% deaf. We thought maybe she could hear a little bit, but no, she's deaf. So I have to use sign language with her. But she's really good. Just sometimes annoying, like in the morning when she stands above your face and barks. So you go feed her breakfast. She's spoiled. But she's the cute dog, and everybody loves her. But this is my baby. Sometimes she's a little annoying, but she just got down. She knows I'm talking about her. But they're both great dogs. She's walking away. I'm kind of surprised. Mickey says Charlotte. Yep, Charlotte's the other one. I guess I didn't say that, did I? But yeah, Charlotte's the Dalmatian. She's deaf. but they love going to my mom's house, my parents' house. They like going to see their grandparents because they have a bigger backyard than I do, so they can run around. And my mom spoils them something fierce with the treats. So I keep them like regimented on, you know, breakfast, dinner, maybe a treat. I haven't given them like actual dog treats in weeks, but because they go to my mom's house and they get like 6 months worth of treats in a weekend, so you know, it's no problem. But you know, they get spoiled. I hate stupid people said I was the one who ordered earlier. Oh, IHSP. Well, thank you so much for your order. I was going to log in and then I got sidetracked, and yeah. So depending on what you ordered, as long as it's not fish, it will ship out tomorrow. Let me see. You bought fertilizer. Well, it will ship out tomorrow. Thank you for the order. I ship out 6 days a week. As long as it's not fish. Fish ship out Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Plants ship out all week long. The only time something might get delayed is if weather is like super crappy, or if you order fish too far in the week. Like if you order fish on Wednesday, it's probably not going to ship out because I like to purge the fish, which is basically you stop feeding them for like 3 days before. It helps clear out their digestive tracts. It's less poop in the bag, which means less ammonia, better shipping. So basically, any fish that get ordered by Sunday will ship out the following week, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I don't ship past Wednesday because I ran into too many problems with USPS if it's a small order. If not, I use UPS for bigger boxes. If it gets delayed one day and I ship out on Thursday, it delays it until the following Monday, and it's just not a risk worth having. I do know that Zen Ginger ordered Diamond Tetris. I shipped out on Wednesday, and they should have been there by Friday. They didn't get to her until Monday, and she said they all arrived good. So that was super awesome to hear, because really when I'm shipping a box of fish, and I'm like, all right, it got boxed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So 6 days these fish were boxed up, and they made it. So I like to see them there in 2 days, 3 days. I'm okay. When I ship, I like shipping in winter because the heat packs are more reliable as far as keeping the box temperature the same. Summer, you could have the fish here in Ohio and it's 30 degrees, and then they go to Texas and it's 100 degrees, and then they end up in California and it's like 50. So you got all these swings in summer. Winter, these heat packs, they have there's a graph. Boom. So I have this graph I printed out so I can see what packs to use depending on where it's going. But every heat pack, you know, they have 20 hours, 30 hours, 72 hours, and 60 hours. Well, they're all not the same temperature. They all get either really hot soon or they trail off. So I'm going to try to look at YouTube on the computer and see if you guys can see this. 20 hours, they spike really hot and then they dump off at the 20-hour mark, right? Well, when you get into I use the 72 hours, and I use that because if they get delayed, I know I got some leeway in the time. They might not peak. They don't peak as hot, right? So they get up to, let's say, 110 degrees, where the 20 hours get up to like 160. But they spike that real quick and then they drop off. The 72 hours are real stable. Look how flat that is. All the way up until it's showing they drop off at 75 hours. That's why I go with 72-hour ones, because they're really stable. They're not super hot. But the other thing is, it's that extra leeway of time. If the fish is supposed to get there in a day and it takes 3 days, I know that heat pack is still doing its job. And it's about that stable temperature. But, you know, the 20-hour, let's say if I was shipping from here to Michigan, I just got another order. Thank you, whoever that was. 13 items. So thank you for that order. Let's say I was shipping to like Upper Michigan, and I know it's a 1-day trip, and it's stupid cold. Well, maybe a 30-hour that spikes the temperature a little bit hotter might be better. But there's logistics, but really the 72-hour ones, I haven't had any issues with them. My printer just turned on. I don't know what happened there, but the 72 hours, if you guys ever want to ship fish, I have no complaints about the 72-hour ones. Cold packs, like, I never know when to put a cold pack in. I did it over the summer, but I feel like, it's frozen, so it's super cold right away, and then it thaws out, and then, hopefully it's like a gel, so hopefully it retains some of that coolness to it, because Texas was hot this year. Compared to last summer when I was shipping, I guess I started shipping fish late last summer, so maybe I was in the tail end, but there were some orders I was monitoring. I go online and do a route to see, like, all right, it's going to be leaving here, it's 50, it's 190 in Texas, it seems like. It's always so hot. It's like, do I put in 2 cold packs? Do I do 1? But, yeah, so I rather, like, 100% would rather ship in the winter. And it's funny because my local post office, they know me, and I guess they were talking to some customers about me, because I was dropping off my orders, and one of the clerks was like, "Oh, I was just talking about you." I was like, "Yeah, about the live fish," because they thought it was the craziest thing when I started bringing in live fish. Apparently, I'm the only one at my post office that ships live fish, and there's a saltwater coral store at the end of their, like, shopping center, so I thought maybe they would ship, but Zen just said Texas was ridiculous this year. It was 85 last week, 50 yesterday. Yeah. But there's like two or three clerks that have been there forever, and they know me. Like, as soon as I walk in, I could have my mask on and, like, in my work uniform. They know who I am, and they always take good care of me, and they respect the fish boxes. They always handle them really nice. I don't know what happens to the fish boxes on the way. That's usually where, if there's damage, that's where it happens. But I know at my local post office, they are spot on. They are super awesome. But they were talking to me about live fish. I don't know. Because I know, like, when retail customers go in the post office, they ask you if there's anything, like, live or perishable. And maybe somebody asks them, like, what are people shipping that's alive? And so they're probably like, well, ST Aquatics does all this fish through us. But, like, when I walk in and I got boxes that say live fish and it's those bright neon green stickers, I do get people that kind of, like, look at the boxes like, are you really shipping fish? Because people don't know that fish are shipped through the air daily. Like, where do you think all the fish that get to Petco, like, how do they get there? They're all shipped cross country. Petco, if they use Seagrass Farms, they're coming out of Florida and they're being shipped to Washington, or, and then let's say you're importing fish and they're coming from India or Singapore, or, all the places. Fish are shipped everywhere, and people just don't realize it. They just think that fish are local or in the basement of a Petco. I don't know, but it was a thing that I never really thought of until I got into the hobby more. And I know when I started doing the fish online, my family was like, you ship fish? Coworkers are like, you ship fish? Everybody's like, you ship fish? It's, like, confusing to them, but hey, it's been done forever. S says, Cincinnati USPS has lost a lot of packages for me. So, since the whole pandemic started, shipping has been, like, kind of sketchy. Some things have been delayed a little bit. I had 2 packages. Luckily, they were not fish. But I had 2 packages that were ordered, and I shipped them out the following morning. So they were ordered, at night. Statistically, all my orders mainly come, and it's weird, between, like, 11 p.m. and 3:30 a.m. Everybody shops at night when I sell stuff. It's always at night. I had 2 orders, and I can't remember. Oh, one was a breeding box. It was the last Phoenix breeder box, which those are cool. That's another video, or that's another product that I think didn't sell as quickly as I thought it would. But it's the dual powered breeder boxes. So it has a water pump. So if you want a lot of flow, like say you got some plecos or some fish that you really want a lot of flow, you can use the water pump. If you don't want high flow and you're just trying to like raise up some smaller fry or whatever, you can run it off of air. The air is less flow into the box, but if you want the high flow, it's got a water pump. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, that's great. So, and being that you can run either or, you could run a batch of plecos and run some high flow for them, or run really low flow. However, you could flip flop. But I sold the last one, and the order came in at night. I had it at the post office first thing in the morning. Like a week goes by, and then I get a message like, "Hey, like it still says you haven't like shipped it yet." I was like, "What?" So I log into my software, I check the tracking, and the post office, and this is the problem with the post office, is their tracking system is like 3 out of 4 orders is fine, no issues, and then there's that one order where nothing updates. So it says, and my software emails when you guys place an order, you'll get a confirmation email like, "Hey, you received it." When I ship it, you'll get a new email that says, "Hey, I shipped your order. Here's your tracking number." Well, it shows in the post office system that I created the label. So as soon as I print postage, it updates the tracking like, "Hey, here's your tracking number. I created the label." I take it to the post office. Say if I take it to them at 8 a.m. tomorrow, well, it might not get scanned until like the end of the day, which on Saturdays they close at noon or 1. So I could drop it off, like hand it to them at 8 a.m. Unless they scan it on the spot, they put it in their rack, and then they move the stuff as they go. Well, once they scan it, which might not be till 2 p.m., it'll say USPS in possession of item, right? So that never got scanned, or they scanned it but never updated to the system for a week. It still said I created the label. So that was one order. The second order, and this was all these packages I shipped on the same day. The second order, which I don't remember even what the order was. The first order I was nervous because they were really upset, like, because they thought I didn't ship it, and they were breeding designer clownfish, so saltwater. And their email to me right off the rip was, I could tell they were upset. They, I already lost one batch of these designer fry. It's a lot of money, and I'm waiting on this. I'm like, dude, I shipped it out. Like, I'm sure it's just the post office system not updating. Luckily, they got the package the next day anyways. I was about to go to the post office and be like, look, you guys need to figure out like where this thing's at. Because the problem was, I was getting ready to ship them just a whole nother breeder box. Like, I'll ship you a new one. Like, I understand, like, this is not good. The problem was he bought the last one. I didn't have a new one to send him. I'm like, I don't really want to just, like, refund you the whole order, because if I guess I could. I just wanted him to get the product that he wanted. I could send him his money back, but then he's still, like, crap out of luck with him trying to breed these designer clownfish. Like, he's back to square one of not getting done what he needs to do. So I'd rather send him a whole new one, and that way he's good and gets the product he wanted. Luckily, he got it the next day, and like everything, like all of a sudden updated to where it showed like everything. The other order, it showed I dropped it off, and it showed it got to their local post office, which he said was like an hour away. It must have been in the boonies. But then it said it was sitting there for like 4 or 5 days. And he's like, they're only an hour away. Like, I should have had it, like, the day it said it was going to be delivered. And that was another order that it updated the next day. Like, after these guys contacted me, literally, like, the next day. So I lucked out that everything just so happened to get moving. But that was just the other week. And I know I'm ranting now. I saw LRB went live, said, "I hate stupid people." I'm going to keep talking for just like a few minutes. The caffeine kicked in, I guess. Although my throat's starting to get a little scratchy from talking. But anyways, I just splashed coffee on myself. UPS. The only issue I've ever had with UPS was the story of Zen Ginger earlier, where I shipped it on Wednesday and somehow it got delayed. I don't know what happened. If it was at an airport, if there was a plane issue. Anyways, out of all the UPS orders, hers was the only one that I've had the issue with. Knock on wood, all the fish made it to her 6 days later. And she said they were all fine. I don't know, good condition, or they need a little bit of loving, but they made them, or they made it. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, all right, that's it. My throat's starting to hurt. Sam Signature Series says my turtles came a day late, but okay. I know Aquarium Co-op is mentioned in their live streams that shipping delays are just a thing now because everybody's ordering online. Worldwide, everybody's ordering online, and they're just overrun. And what was nice about the second person that had the issue was they started their email off, I know this isn't your fault. The package is stuck at my post office. But they asked if there was anything I could do to figure out why. The first guy was just bantering me, and I get it. It looked like I didn't ship it, even though I did. So I get why he was upset. But the second guy, he was really nice. He's like, I know it's not your fault. You shipped it. All that stuff. He just needed help trying to resolve what was going on. And I guess another quick story. The only other random issue I had was I sold 3 bags of Fluval Stratum to somebody. And when they checked out, it had their old address saved. And they didn't realize it. And I had shipped 3 bags, which A, is not light, and B, is expensive, to a house he doesn't even live at anymore. And it was in Florida. Guess where he lives at now? New York. So it's not like, oh, I moved across town, I'll run over there and be like, hey, I accidentally shipped this. No. He lived in New York. And he emailed me. He's like, what can you do? Can you cancel that order or have it shipped back to you and ship me more? I was like, dude, it was already delivered. I was like, dude, it was delivered 2 days ago. Like, you want me to eat 3 bags plus shipping on Fluval? Like, that's expensive. Like, there's nothing, like, I feel for you. Like, the only thing I can say I've done this before was when I lived in my apartment. I lived in my apartment. We'd order pizza online. When I moved to this house, the first night I moved in here, I'm like, man, like, after moving all the boxes, I'm like, I'm just gonna order pizza. Didn't even think about it. It was shipped to my apartment. I got a phone call from the pizza guy. He's like, hey, are you still in your apartment? Like, because these people said they just moved in and they didn't order pizza. I'm like, my bad, dude. Like, I will pay for that pizza. Like, I'll give you my credit card over the phone. He's like, no. They were totally cool. They're like, no, we'll just send the order to your local pizza store and they'll ship it from there. I'm like, dude, I'll pay for that pizza. Like, that's my mistake. And they're like, no, it's cool. So I understand, like, autofill. But that was my mistake, so I was willing to pay for my mistake. This guy, like, wanted me to, like, just ship them to New York, Fluval Stratum, and try to somehow get the package back. I'm like, no, sorry. Like, I think I'm very fair when something's my mistake or, like, something's not as expected. Like, you ordered something and, like, the plant just completely died on you. Like, I'm going to make it right. But that's not my mistake. So he's like, what can I do? I was like, well, I honestly don't know. You can try to get a contact of the homeowner and see if they can, like, take it to the post office and have it marked, like, return to sender and have it sent back to me and then pay shipping and I'll ship it back to you. But, like, so he ended up having his old neighbor. He called his old neighbor to go get it and then to have it shipped. His neighbor was going to ship it. his shipping was like twice as expensive as what he paid me. And he was like, message me about that. I'm like, well, I have a commercial account with the post office, so to get shipping cheaper. 3 bags of Fluval Stratum was like, I don't know how much it was, but he got free. I think he got free shipping, or he paid $10 for shipping on it. He ended up paying his neighbor like $40 to get the thing shipped to him. It was crazy. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for the super chats tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the orders. I will get working on them. They will ship out tomorrow as long as it's not fish. I will get them shipped out before I go OFR. And switching over LRB's live stream. I might pop in there in a minute. But hope to see you guys next Friday. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to take the drone up to... got my remote just charged. The batteries are still charging right now. I'm going to take the drone up to OFR tomorrow, get some video of the koi pond now that it's done, and try and do that real quick wrap-up. I might do a live stream tomorrow, so it'll be a pop-up live stream. Probably won't be any notification about it. So, sorry if you miss it. Check the replay. If you're there, I'll see you there. But anyways, guys, I will see you next Friday, tomorrow, sometime. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys. Peace, love, chicken grease.